Hey, and welcome to Rideshare Rhetoric. I'm Clarky.
And I'm Margaret.
And we're here with another wonderful story from the world of rideshare.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me to go.
Yeah, I want you to say, what is it? I'm excited.
Well, what's the story we're talking about today? I'm excited.
Okay. Now, I have to not be judgmental.
Good luck.
No, but when I drive around and actually meet people, I've got this conscious knowledge that I can't be judgmental because they don't impact on me anyway. So
I think we should be like that anyway in life.
Yeah, well, that's true. But it's really hard not to be judgmental sometimes. And this story sort of challenged my perspective on being judgmental.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm curious now. Tell me more.
Okay, so I'm driving along and I've got a female to pick up. And she rocks up and she's heavily pregnant. She's thin and heavily pregnant.
Lucky
so
girl.
I didn't make a mistake that she was overweight, and I guessed. No, she was thin and heavily pregnant. And she got in the car and I said, hey, when are you due? And she said, in 3 weeks' time.
Oh, then she was heavily pregnant, yes.
So I said, congratulations. And she spoke really well and she was presented really well. And this is where the judgments start to come in.
I think it's more your questions that you ask.
I said, so 3 weeks' time, is it your first child? Because I'm guessing she's about, I don't know, 24, 25, 26. Now, I'm not good at guessing ages anymore.
Well, no, I hear that the older we get, the worse we get at this.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So I was guessing sort of mid-20s. And I said, oh, is it your first child? Because I thought that sort of makes sense. And she said, no. I said, how many children do you have? She said, this is my 8th.
She's not 24 then, is she? 8th. Oh, my Lord.
Her 8th child.
No.
And
That's a flat no from me.
So obviously I said, how old are you? And she said, I'm 34. And I said,
oh, wow.
That's cool. 34, 8 kids.
She must have started young.
Well, I asked if she had any twins or triplets to start with, and she said no.
So she said she had 8. 8 kids. That's like unimaginable for me.
So it's her 8th child, and she didn't have twins or triplets. And I said, how old's your eldest?
Yeah.
And she said, oh, he's 18.
Oh.
So I went, did maths. It took me 5 minutes, but I eventually got there. And I said, so you were pregnant when you were 15? She said,
right.
Yeah, I was. And I don't know whether it's being smart or not. I said, you've basically been pregnant since you're 15.
Pretty much.
On and off.
Yeah, pretty
close. Much. By the time you have a child, feed the child, get pregnant again. That's pretty constant. Might have been a couple of little breaks there. So we spoke about the logistics of having 8 kids, because you think about my mother, like everybody I speak to about having 8 children, they go, wow, how can you have 8 children? And it's a cost of living thing, I think, more than anything.
Because it used to be really normal, right, to have lots of kids.
Well, my mother's part of 10.
Yeah, right.
10 children. And mad Catholics with no TV.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
And it was common. And of those 10 children that on my mother's side, 5 of them had 8 or more children. I've got hundreds of cousins running around the country I've never even met.
Yeah, me either. I haven't met your cousins either.
What do you want to?
Hope they're not listening.
No, I'm sure they're wonderful people. And so it was common, like years ago. But it's uncommon to hear it today.
Yeah.
So we're talking about logistics of having 8 kids. I said to her, how do you get them to school? Because she doesn't have a license.
Oh.
So I'm thinking the partner or husband or whoever it is, or they have a truck. They throw them in the truck or the bus and take them to school.
Minibus.
And she goes, no, I'm single.
Oh, okay. She's single and about to have her 8th child.
So she's single. And I said, well, how do you get them to school, for instance? And she goes, well, when they're 5, I go down to the Salvos and get a bike. put them on the bike and send them off to school. Said, how do you know you get to school? How do they know those kids get to school? And I think she got a bit funny with me when I said that, but...
Well, maybe she walks them, like, who knows?
Yeah.
That sounds a little judgmental, that question.
Probably was. Anyway, we're sitting there and we're just talking about feeding kids and getting them around kitchen tables and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I had one question I had to ask her.
Oh, no. What did you
What would you ask her? If you had no filter and you could just ask her whatever you like.
No filter. I go, how the heck do you stay trim with 8 kids and being
That's
pregnant?
true. Didn't think of that one. Now, I was thinking, I did ask her. I said, can I ask you a personal question?
Because the rest wasn't personal.
And she said, yeah, no problems. I said, how many fathers?
Oh, you didn't. You did.
Yeah, I did.
You definitely did.
How many fathers? I thought it was a pertinent question. And she went, 7.
So is this where the being non-judgmental part comes into it?
This is fantastic. Because the first thing that jumped in my head after that, I said, there's 7 fathers. What happens at Christmas time? Do they all come around to celebrate Christmas with the kids?
I suspect that's not the case.
Well, I asked her that.
Oh, you didn't. Of course you did.
And she said, it's not really a problem. I said, why is that? Because she said most of them are in jail.
Oh, you know.
I'm going, this is crazy.
But can you imagine? That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough.
Well, it's poor choices. And then this is the judgmental part.
Oh, I think that last comment was pretty judgmental.
I never spoke to her about this, and I'm thinking, you're just having children to survive. And what I mean by that is that our wonderful government...
Thanks, Centrelink.
Yeah. Pay her to have children.
Yeah, but you know...
Because I had no idea where the other 7 children were driving around. She's single, and there's 7 children wandering around somewhere.
Did she have any kids with her?
No, that goes on to another part of this story, because we picked up a friend of hers after that.
Mm-hmm.
And we drive up, and I thought it might have been like a friend that helped look after the kids and supported her. And this guy walked out of this unit, and I went, oh, my God, I don't want to talk to this guy. He was...
This is the judgmental bit again.
He gets in the car, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, he looks like a character of some description. You know those little animals that you tip water on and they become really angry? It was a movie. What was that called?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was a movie.
Oh, really?
They were cute little cuddly things, and you put water on them and they became very angry.
Was it the Gremlins?
Gremlins, that's
Gremlins.
it. The Gremlin. He looked like a gremlin, an angry gremlin.
Oh, no.
Gremlin. So he had hair all over the place, and so it's weird looking. And I thought, I don't need to talk to this guy. Anyway, he gets in the back with her, and I thought, well, maybe he's the 8th father.
Or the 7th or the 6th.
The 7th father, I guess. Anyway, he wasn't.
Maybe he is the 8th father.
He's just a friend. And I thought, wow, what sort of friends do you keep? And I thought, I'm not going to talk to him. Just drive to the destination. Anyway, it got the better of me in the finish. He's talking to her and he goes something about corrective services. And I went, made eye contact with him in the mirror and said, dude, have you been in jail?
As he pulls out his knife.
He said, yeah, I have. Just got out a couple of weeks ago. I said, how long were you in for? And he went, 12 months.
Did he say 12 months this time?
He could have, but 12 months. And I went, okay, you're not the father. I said, what were you in jail for? Because it's a really interesting story.
Yeah, of course.
I've had a few people that have been in jail and have told me why they're in and all sorts of things. But this one I found surprising. And he goes, I was in jail for stalking. I said, no way.
Oh, no.
12 months in jail for stalking. That's not a thing, surely.
Mm-hmm. Should be a thing.
Anyway, he said, I get pretty aggressive. And I'm looking at him going, you're an angry gremlin anyway. And red-haired, sort of wild-looking guy with these really thick glasses on.
Hey, that sounds like my dad. Red hair, thick glasses. The rest, not so much.
He's looking at me and goes, yeah, I get pretty aggressive, but I don't hit anybody. I don't physically touch anybody. I said, okay. So how'd the stalking go down? Like, what did you do? He said, well, the police have warned me a few times. Okay. He said, I've been in jail just in overnight and stuff like that. They didn't like the fact that other than the texting and the phone calls and the things that I did to her, because I said, who did you stalk? Did you just stalk random people? He said, no, I stalked my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. I said, okay. Oh. And so he goes, they got upset at the fact that I climbed over the back fence of her house with a chair, put it in the backyard, and sat on it and just stared at her house where her kitchen was.
Yeah, and that's not okay.
And he did that for a number of weeks. It wasn't just a one-off occurrence.
Yeah, okay.
He would just appear out of nowhere, just sitting in the backyard looking at her.
I guess that's breaking and entering. You know.
Anyway, they came down pretty hard on him. He went to jail for 12 months. Yeah. I said, does she still live? Does she live locally, or have you moved to the area? We're driving along, and this is an actual fact. We're driving along, and he goes, no, she lives locally. She actually lives right there.
Oh, no.
He drove past.
As you're driving past.
And I said, are we breaking any conditions you've got being this close to her? Anyway, it was quite funny. So going back to
we say that's funny. However, there is a seriousness attached to that whole stalking thing when you're on the other side of it.
I'm sure. Like the angry gremlin sitting in the backyard just staring at you wouldn't be good.
No, that's horrible. And to be on the other end of it,
But that's where this judgmental part came in. I thought, gee, I'm being judgy, even the questions I'm asking these two, and I probably need to reflect on that. But it was an entertaining story, entertaining ride.
It was definitely an interesting story, yeah. I just also take the, being the serious one of the two of us, like understanding the gravity of what it's like to be on the other end of that behaviour. Yeah. Like, it's all good that we jest about it.
So I could be really judgy. Let's say the girl that's about to have the 8th baby. I almost felt like saying this to her. You've got another 4 or 5 in you yet. But I thought I'd better not.
Yeah, I think that was a good call myself. May she have had a safe birth, because she would have given birth.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It was a couple of months ago now.
My goodness. Oh, the people you meet.
Yeah. Anyway, that's another rideshare story that I found entertaining. I hope you found entertaining. And if you like it, share, subscribe, whatever else you do with these things. And you'll find it all over the place. Anyway, until next time, bye.